Hello, and welcome to a Cemetery Dance unboxing, or a Richard Chizmar unboxing, if the tape would have you believe. But it's Cemetery Dance. This, my friends, is two editions of A Face in the Crowd and The Longest December. Face in the Crowd being by Stephen King and Stewart O'Nan. The Longest December being by Richard Chizmar. So this box is actually going to serve as a nice little comparison video, because I have in this box the trade edition, which has been available for like a year now. This came out last year. And the artist gift edition, which I believe is completely sold out, which is going to be interesting to compare them. I've seen some photos, which I try to avoid photos, but unfortunately I've seen some photos that spoil some aspects of this. But, you know, none of those photos have compared them one-to-one. So let's look at those. This, first of all, you're going to notice that the artist gift edition does come with a little slipcase here. The slipcase does look to have a little bit of extra spacing in there. We have the stamping of A Face in the Crowd and The Longest December. Nice little flipbook stamping. No stamping on the spine or anything. That's fine, though. One of the things which I noticed in the photos that people are complaining about is that the dust jacket is the exact same between the trade edition and the artist edition, which is a bummer, because I would like to see, you know, the dust jacket without this big-ass barcode on it. But unfortunately, that is not to be had. So we have cover artwork here for Face in the Crowd, The Longest December, top-notch artwork from the one and only Francois Vallaincourt. I think Francois did both of them? It says cover artwork Francois, so he must have done both of them. But for some reason, I'm also thinking Ben Baldwin did some of the art. So let's dive in. Cloth, I mean, it's nothing fancy, but it is a little different between the trade and the gift edition. I mean, just in terms of color, in terms of texture, in terms of thickness, it's exactly the same, but, you know, different color. I like the color. We're supposed to have different end papers, which, okay, we do have different end papers. A little bit higher quality, not just plain paper. We have a little texture to it, which is nice. The trade edition just dives right into the novellas, or the short stories. Well, they do have interior artwork, like so. And I believe there's a couple pieces per short story. So The Longest December is an expanded edition of The Long December by Richard Chizmar, which makes you question your neighbors. You know, it's about a family who's had the best neighbor in the world. Well, all of a sudden the cops come knocking at the door saying, hey, we have some questions about your neighbor that you think is an absolute charm. And, it turns out you don't really know your neighbors. And then A Face in the Crowd is about a baseball fanatic, as only Stephen King and Stewart O'Nan can write about, who is continuing to see faces, people sitting behind the sitting behind home plate there, who shouldn't be there. Faces that. Okay, there we go. That's Francois Vallaincourt right there. I can see that nice little frontispiece. So that is The Longest December's frontispiece. Face in the Crowd, like I said, he's seeing faces that just shouldn't be there. One thing I will say is that the paper stock looks to be the same, which is disappointing, because the paper was supposed to be upgraded. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I don't know for certain that it was supposed to be upgraded. It looks to be the same thickness. But the specs specified 60-pound paper stock, which is usually a little bit thicker paper. I believe, and I should have checked this out beforehand. Wow, look at, oh, there we go. I was going to say this is stuck. So this is the signatures by Ben Baldwin Mark Edward Geyer, and Francois Vallaincourt. Yeah, so that's leading me to believe, because that's Francois artwork right there. That's leading me to believe that the dust jacket is not Francois, that is Ben Baldwin and Mark Allen Geyer? What was his last name? I apologize, Mark. Mark Edward Geyer. Which is leading me to believe that that's that. Which is just kind of surprising that they have the cover artwork credited to Francois, because I don't think he did the cover artwork. Like I said, these frontispieces are definitely Francois. That is like him through and through. Which would then beg the question of what Ben Baldwin and Mark Edward Geyer do. I think they did the artwork. I think Ben Baldwin did this one, if I'm not mistaken, for Facing the Crowd, and Mark Edward Geyer, by process of elimination, did The Longest December. So that's an interesting error there. But so what I should have checked, as I was saying before I got distracted by the signature page, did it actually say the limitation on this? Oh, it did. It doesn't have a number or anything. Which is the same as the artist editions of like the Stephen King titles. It just says Artist Gift Edition. The gift edition of the Stephen King titles, I should say. There's the next tier up, which is the artist numbered edition, which does have numbers. It's limited to 1,250 copies. But as I was saying before I keep interrupting myself, the specs indicated that this was going to be printed on 60-pound paper stock, which is thicker paper stock, and should be thicker than your traditional trade paper. This just has the regular headbands, different colored headbands, or tail bands, if you will, depending on which way you're looking at it. What I should do, and I'll do this off video, is I will go check out one of said Stephen King gift editions, which I know have the nicer paper stock. I will confirm if that's supposed to be 60-pound paper stock, and if it is, I will compare them, because I know for a fact that those editions have nice paper stock, but they could have been even nicer than 60-pound. Maybe that's 110-pound or a 100-pound paper stock. And let's put this at least back the right way. So yeah, it's interesting. I know they were also complaining that is this what they're complaining about? They were saying that the stamping was upside down. So Facing the Crowd, it has like that flip book stamping. So, it's always going to be kind of upside down there, depending on how you shelve your book, I suppose. Facing the Crowd, have the name up there. You're going to have the book down here. I flipped it. Oh, that's exactly what they're talking about, is that Facing the Crowd, it's going to be upside down between the dust jacket and the slipcase, which is a shame. And then obviously the same thing for The Longest December. It's going to be impossible to have them face up unless you were to put them in backwards like this, Longest December. And then you would have the page block sticking out, which you don't want to do. Let's not get crazy here. So, yeah, Facing the Crowd, Longest December. It doesn't really matter which side you put it on, because they ain't going to match up either way. So yeah, that, my friends, is the two editions that I've purchased through Cemetery Dance. There is, in fact, at least one more tier, which is the lettered edition. I don't think there's anything between lettered and the gift edition. I think this is it. The next tier up is the lettered edition, which is signed by the authors, including Stephen King. So that was limited to 52 copies, plus an unnamed and mysterious number of PC copies. That is signed by Stephen King, Stewart O'Nan, and Richard Chizmar, which that one is sold out as well. That was for a good number of pretty pennies. So, congrats to those who have that. I don't have that one, and I'm fine not having that. I mean, it'd be cool if I did, but I'm not shelling that much out for two short stories. Because there's so many other books to own, So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. I believe the trade edition is still available through Cemetery Dance or wherever books are sold. Like I said, the Artist Gift Edition, you are going to have to go to the secondary market if you want a copy of that. But, it's kind of just the same as the trade edition, to be honest. It's just, It's got the signatures of the artists, which is always cool to have a couple signatures in your collection. But for the price jump that it is, it's kind of just a trade edition. It has two illustrated frontispieces, 2 color frontispieces thrown in, and a slipcase, which is stamped incorrectly, which is kind of a lot of bang for, kind of a little bang, few bang for a lot of buck. So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll see you around next time.